Yeah, second half, all that worry went away. Essentially, second half, everything was gone. I think Combs should go up to the box for a better view. Maybe. I'm not sure. It kind of depends on the stadium, depending on where the press box is. Just kind of looking at the way that I think it's Huntington Bank Stadium, it's named now, with TCF Bank Stadium. That's not the name. I always remember it as TCF Bank, but now it's Huntington Bank. It didn't seem like the press box was in like a really good angle. I'm not sure, though, but that's a good question. That's all I got to say. Defense still looks like, yeah, especially against the pass. Yeah, potentially. I think the defense definitely needs a little bit of help. I thought they just weren't challenged enough in the passing game. There needs to be a little bit more of a better passing team, I think, to really test the secondary. We'll see how they do. Yeah, Ohio State got the win, man. Yeah, the defense is beat up. Proctor's got to be healthy. If Proctor is not healthy anymore and he potentially has an injury, then that's not good for sure. Will's going to the Oregon game. Exciting, Will. Enjoy. So glad we won because that would have been sad. Yeah, I mean, I think the last time Ohio State lost a week one game, I looked this up, 1999, when they lost to, I think, Miami, Florida. So, and I'm young, so that was when I was 3 years old. So, you know, somebody born in Columbus, it's been a long freaking time since Ohio State's lost week one. So very, very bad stuff. And yeah, I see that should have been a targeting. There were two plays there that people were debating on targeting. The first one was by an Ohio State player. Well, both were on OSU players. The first one in the first quarter, which was reversed to a non-targeting, I agreed with. I thought he was leading in with the shoulder. I don't think that was a targeting. And then you got surely the second one was targeting. The Minnesota receiver basically had the ball. He just got shellacked there. The helmet hit the opposing helmet. It was leading with the head. That should have been targeting. But Big Ten officials, nobody knows what targeting is still. It's 2021. It's September of 2021. We don't know what targeting is. The second one, I agree. Definitely should have been targeting. But, you know, it's the first game. There's a lot of time to go for this OSU team. And again, while the defense might have not been that impressive, I mean, you look at the way that Minnesota scored their touchdowns. 6-play 80-yard drive for the Dylan Wright 13-yard TD reception, which was a nice lob throw. That's a one-on-one situation. 1-yard run from Ibrahim on an 8-play 37-yard drive. That's because of an interception. So interception definitely helps Minnesota get into that groove. And then that 4th-and-1 run certainly led the Gophers into more momentum. Then you had a 5-play 75-yard drive for Minnesota in the third with the Ibrahim 19-yard run. So again, missed tackles, I think, is the biggest thing for the defense. Missed tackles was something that needs to be addressed. Absolutely. I thought of all the defensive things to be worried about and something to definitely be concerned about was missed tackling, because you saw that on numerous occasions during the game, whether it was on Ibrahim or on some of the screens that Minnesota was throwing. There were some missed tackles in there. Thought Burke and Watts stepped up pretty well. The conservatives the middle of the field over and over with no adjustments. Yeah, I need them a little bit more adjustments in the middle of that field. Go Bucks. I agree with you. Good to see Sawyer and JTT in the game. Yeah, it was nice to see a lot of different guys get reps for OSU. You know, seeing some of the young guys play and factor. You'll have to excuse some of the pauses for the wording. It's almost midnight. Next time we do this, it's not going to be this late. Reminder, the next game's at noon on September the 11th at Columbus against Oregon. So we're not going to do this late next time, which is nice. Big Ten refs didn't call targeting, then it wasn't. Exactly. Who knows? If you have a dog named Brutus, by the way, it's pretty freaking awesome. But man, yeah, with Big Ten refs, you don't know what targeting is. If anyone here can tell me what targeting is, you can give me the definition of targeting. I know it when I see it in some ways, but then in other ways I don't, which means I don't know what it is, and nobody knows what it is. That happens 3 years ago. It would be called a great play. College football is people going soft. Well, I mean, noon games. I prefer noon games, honestly. I like to have my sleep. It's also nice to be able to wake up in the morning and have a college football game start 2 or 3 hours after you wake up on a Saturday morning after a busy work week. I like the noon games. I'm cool with those. I mean, the whole thing with targeting, I get protecting people's brains. Your brain's important. If you don't have a brain, you're in trouble. So I think having a brain's important. How much longer can they go without either starting or playing Henderson more? And did Jack Sawyer and JTT play? And what about Zach Harrison play? Zach Harrison play was awesome, Marcus. That was a great strip sack. Lucky bounce for Garrett to get it in order to get that touchdown. And yeah, I'd love to see Henderson play more. I mean, one play and he scores a touchdown off of that catch. So I'd love to see Travion Henderson get a lot more reps. I think he will. OSU has got a very, very diverse running back core with Williams, with Teague, with Henderson, but it's not just Master Teague. He might be the guy that people look to as sort of the number one, but Williams and Henderson are very, very good. The offense is going to be great this season. I think it's fair to say. The first half there was a little shaky, but once they made the adjustments, once they got settled down in a hostile environment, and this is the first time that these guys have played with fans in more than a year, some of them for the first time in their college careers. So to be able to go into a hostile environment like that in fall-like weather, rain in the second half, Minnesota's a tough place to play, hand it to them that they were able to keep their nerve there in the second half and run away with it a little bit, for sure. If it looked like that next week with Banks back, then Coombs might not be the answer. Potentially not. Didn't think there was targeting. I hate that call, by the way, so maybe I have a bias. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. The fact that everybody in this chat, and nice to see all of you guys, by the way. Hope you're enjoying your late evening. And if, Buckeye fans in here, OHIO, great to see the win. And here in Dotting the I, we're talking about that win, 45-31. And we'll get the name of the post-game show up there now, so y'all remember it. We'll be back here next week for the Oregon game. But yeah, that's the thing. The fact that everybody sort of has these different opinions coming through with the whole targeting, that just proves the point that nobody knows what the hell it is. And the Big Ten refs don't know either. It's just like, well, this one might not be. Well, this one will be. There's no consistency. And that's something you see in officiating across a lot of sports, especially in college football. I don't like targeting calls at all myself. However, I personally think it falls on the individual play. Intent should matter. Did they lunge? Did he lead with helmet? Yeah, I think that's a good point, Willow. The fact, the only thing that I have to say to that, the lunging is a good way to judge intent. I agree with that. But again, it's hard to judge intent because in some moments people might see a hit that's not that hard. Like you don't hear it as much on television or in the stadium, or the refs don't see sort of a whiplash kind of impact. Maybe if the impact is not a lot, then you probably lean more towards not targeting. Whereas if it's something that has a high impact, for example, that first play that was sort of a targeting yes or no question, it was a shoulder lean. The initial call was targeting because the impact of the hit was high, but then you look at the replay and it wasn't targeting because he didn't lead with his helmet. It was the shoulder. And then on that second one, to me, that was targeting because the hit was hard. You could see the lunge. The receiver was defenseless, and he hit him helmet to helmet. So that's sort of the big thing that you have to look at there. But, same old with targeting. We don't know what it is. We don't know how to define it. Nobody knows how to define it. That is for frickin' sure.